Well, hello. Today we shall try something quite different, I'd say. I never live streamed on this channel before, but I thought I'd give it a try. Will it be cringe? Probably, but it will be fun either way. And most importantly, it will be very splendid. Hello, Horsehair Bonk, and hello, Tease. Thanks for checking in. So I thought for today, we need a new project now that the calculator is done. And with the recent development in Tetris, I thought I'd give it a try because it was a project that I already did like some time ago. But I never came back to it, and it also got lost a bit. It was, in fact, my very first project that was on a larger scale, so to say. I made like escape rooms, shooting ranges, game shows, like even a version of DDR, like an early one. But Tetris was the first that was way bigger than anything else, where I actually set up my very own server for it. And yeah, so I'm excited to come back to it. And hello, Extreme Speed. Another very talented electrician. So welcome on my test island. This is just the mock-up I made for the thumbnail. And this is the old version, which is a bit working, also a bit broken. And it had a few more features back in the day, but as I said, those got lost. This is kind of the last save that I had, and it's also quite a bit dated because since then I've learned a lot. So I'm quite excited to go with you like through my thought process in a way. And make some improvements to the existing prototype, and probably at the end have a even better version. Will the stream be long? I'm actually not too sure how long it will be. Probably until I don't have the nerves to keep it up anymore, or my computer is just saying, nope, can't handle it anymore. So I guess we need to start to get into the nitty-gritty of things. We can give this one a test run. I need to reset it. No, is it working? Yes, it seems like it. So yeah, it had the parts falling down, it had left and right, and it also had different pieces that could fall down, even though they could only be in a 2x2 matrix of sorts. And they would just like be randomized. No selection of any specific pieces, so to say. But you were at least able to clear rows with it. But no points yet. I think it's also a bit flawed at some pieces. It's not working as ideally as it could be. Let's see if we can maybe get a row going. That would be splendid. By the way, why is the max quality? Ooh, the max quality is not good, is it? I'm not too sure actually. because it's my very first time streaming on this setup. So I'm learning kind of on the job, but maybe I can figure it out. If there is like a tab for it. I think it probably has to do with the output that I set Streamlabs to. Something I should certainly look into. But probably not for this first stream, I reckon. But tomorrow it might be improved. So, to contextualize everything, I guess we'll just have some neat little drawings. And I will just like go through and explain a bit how we will be able to get there. Maybe I just scrap this and have it like this. So we have our game board and we have some pieces. And the pieces are supposed to fall down. So in the back of it, we need somewhere where we can store that a piece is active or not. We'd usually do this with memory cells. And then if we hit an update, it shouldn't be there anymore, but rather it should be a bit lower. And we can just do this with a 2x2, not 2x2, a two-dimensional array of memory cells that just store where the pieces are. And if the memory cell is on, then there's a piece, or at least it's something saved over there. Meaning if we go back over here, we can see that it's kind of a repeating pattern of sorts. And everywhere we have these memory cells, right? They indicate if something's lit up or if it isn't. Now, some interesting distinction in Tetris is that we need some parts to move sideways, right? So we have a falling piece, and this one can move sideways. But when it falls down, it's no longer the active piece, right? So say it now is there, and we get the next piece. And if we now press right, we only want to have the new piece go right. We don't want to have the old one go right as well. So we cannot have the whole game board updated at the same time, but rather we want to split it kind of in between the pieces that are falling down and the pieces that we have saved. Maybe the message will be written a little strange because I'm using a translator. Oh, that doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure I'll get the hang of it. Where is the music, by the way? It is gone. And there we go. Okay. So, your calculator was freaking awesome. Well, thank you, AK. Thank you very much. I'm so happy that it's finally out there. So we have the falling piece. And we have the static pieces, let's call them that way. And then for static pieces, they can basically be all the pieces that are still stored. Let's say something like this. And then we have the falling piece. And the good thing about this setup is we save both of those are saved in the kind of two-dimensional memory cell array that I told you about. But the right one is way simpler because the left one, we need to make it move down to the right and to the left. This one only needs to move down because if we remember, obviously in Tetris a row can be cleared. So say we got another piece over here, then the lowest row should be cleared and all the pieces above shall fall down. So that's already like a huge logical distinction we have. Is there any way I can support you? I could give you some inexpensive skins. Oh, that is... Thank you for the support. Currently there isn't anything set up that I have. So, you know, just being around, watching my videos, being a subscriber and commenting, that's already like a lot of support. So thank you for everybody who already is doing this. But monetary wise, I haven't set up anything. And then finally we have the display, which is just a giant OR in a way. And then we combine the memory cells from the falling pieces with the ones from the static pieces. So we have this one over here, but also the other ones. Something like this. So if the frame rate allows us, we can go back and we see this whole wall is just the falling piece. It looks like a lot for just having this small piece over there, but well, if we remember the one falling piece can basically be anywhere on the screen, right? So we need to have all the memory cells for that. And then a bit further back, we have another set of memory cells, which are a bit less components because they are a bit simpler, and those are the static ones. And hello Monstera, hello, hello. Very awesome to be with you in the community update. It's such an honor to be listed next to you, Da Vinci and Tim. That's great. And then we just do some logic in between, right? So the piece falls down, a falling piece, but it can't fall down endlessly, right? At some point, it will reach the bottom. So it's somewhere, oh, apparently my drawing tablet isn't doing its job. It's the artist energy. Have some artists watching and suddenly you cannot draw. Well, congratulations again, it's crazy. Thank you very much. Yes, indeed, it is very, very crazy. That is for sure. And Mr. T, hello, hello. Thank you for being here. So let's see, am I flying or something? It doesn't let me draw. Well, that's a bit unfortunate. If you wondered what that was, those are my custom USB sounds. A very splendid one at that. Oh, well. No drawings for us now, I guess. When Rust in Rust, hello Da Vinci. Eventually, I guess. Maybe if Rust isn't in text adventure, maybe then we'll have Rust in Rust. But until then, I think we need to have way more components for Rust in Rust, right? So, but as I was explaining, we have the falling pieces and we need to apply some logic to them, right? So they can't go everywhere. At some point, they cannot fall down any further below. So there needs to be some kind of collision detection, right? In this case, it would fall on the green piece and then it would say, oh, now it's not a falling piece anymore, but now it's a static piece. So we take the position where it would land, right over the green one, and write it into the static memory. And once it's over here, we can load a new piece, like randomized by whatever algorithm we come up with, and the new one will fall down. Yeah, Doom in Rust I will settle for. Oh man, yeah, Doom would be quite a challenge, wouldn't it? But maybe with some mods and Carbon framework or something. Sometimes that happens to me where I cannot draw. If I have sprint toggled on, let's sprint for a while. Make me a sweaty boy and let's see. Nah, it wasn't that this time. But thanks for the suggestion. Unfortunately, that wasn't it. Love your electronics, they are amazing. Well, thank you very much. They truly are very splendid electronics, dare I say. Okay, so given that I can't show it on here, maybe I'll just draw it in another software. Let's see. Well, there we go. Okay, so now things should be working. I hope. Yes. Oh well. What's the problem? I don't know, to be honest. I just cannot draw anymore. Yeah. Well. It was a problem until now. Well, it just solved by itself. Isn't that wonderful? So. You explain really good too. Well, thank you. I certainly try. It's not that easy with like every matter, especially like computer science, but the reception was pretty good. Like the people were typing in the comments, oh, these 12 minutes were like so more informative than, I don't know, 12 years of high school. Like profs couldn't teach me anything, but you did, and that is very, very nice. Yes, I'm very certain that Monstera fixed it. I'm sure of it. It has to be her and her artist spirits. Yeah, she even is admitting it. There you go. So, yeah. So let's say this piece has fallen down. And it's right here. So now our collision detection would trigger and send it from over here, right there. So then we draw it into the static memory and get the new piece. Which can be totally different again. There you go. And then it does the very same thing, now just with different pieces. I will follow the clip you teach. Backup power for the turrets are useful. Oh yeah. Well, I'm glad you liked it and you think it's a good one. I certainly tried a few setups with the turrets, but that's just the simplest one that I could come up with. And our collision detection is basically this layer in between. It takes from the static memory and then also from the active memory and then compares few things. So that's what these lines are for. And then if we have a piece falling down, it will basically check if anything to the right, anything to the left, or anything underneath is blocked by the static memory. Because our 4 options, obviously, 3 options, I should say, are those. So we need to check them, because otherwise we would just push this piece into other already existing pieces. And we certainly don't want that, because it will get ugly. OMG, so many wires. Hey, hey guys, hello Momcraft. Just saw you this weekend, didn't I, on the Fancy Op event. Was a very splendid time with you. Yeah. The thing is, if if those are already a lot of wires, well, there might be even more wires somewhere on the server. Deep beneath. So, any questions so far? Like, I think I roughly went over everything going on in a way, on a more abstract level. And the same collision detection obviously happens when we try to move it at the side, so it doesn't move out of the screen, because that would be kind of weird. Is variable in speed? Not this setup, but I would plan on doing it a bit faster at times, yes, for sure. But that's probably something further down the line when we have, say, a score counter that we can then use for having different levels. And with each level it would be a bit harder. I followed you from the game page that showed you a clip and will support forever. Well, thank you, Mr. T. I still can't believe that I kind of made it into the community update, and there's like a link for like so many people on Steam that they can just like click and are like redirected to my video. That is still very insane to think about. Yeah, and as you can see, if we, for example, let's put it one over. it not only checks the ground there, but now it has detected something over here, and now it's stuck. Or like shifted towards the static memory. And maybe this time we can get a Tetris. No, not a Tetris. Just one line. A Tetris would be kind of insane, wouldn't it? Well deserved. Well, thank you very much. Why is the music is always stopping? Huh. The music isn't musicking well. Looks like I got a bit distracted from playing my actual game. Oh, bummer. Well. Didn't make it this time, but believe me, or Philieve me, it's at least working in this version where like they would come crashing down. And then over here it's just some, just in quotation marks, some clocks for handling the different commands. As you can see, it like ripples through, and with the timers, actually with the counters, we can say how long each instruction should take. That's a very neat setup. Can you rotate pieces? That is a very great question. You cannot, because that is very hard. Because if we think about it, we have the falling piece. And if something is next to it, and now we want to rotate this one, so this is the falling piece, say, then it would be orientated like this. Oh, I think actually just mark it over. So this would be kind of the new position for the piece, and that's obviously not possible. So not only would we need to have a lookup table somewhere where we say, okay, this is our current piece, and if we rotate it left, the piece will look like the lime one. But no, we would, okay, change it to the rotated piece and then look in every single direction around if there's something blocking. And if something is blocking, revert that change. So that is very hard. But I think I still would like to have rotation. Just that when the piece is spawning up top, you would maybe have a second to rotate it before it falls down. Does it usually take you a long time for big projects? Well, it certainly depends. Some projects take a very long time and others not so much. It's mostly in a way of how much you can just copy and paste, because you can see if you once have figured out this part, you can just copy it over a bunch of times. Same thing over here and like here. So that's why Tetris has a lot of pieces, lot of pieces, but it's not that complicated in a way compared to the calculator, where you have maybe less pieces, but there are way more small things moving, if that makes sense to you. And other projects, like medium-sized ones, I feel like I finished them in 2 days and then cleaned them up 2 more days, so round about 4 days, I'd say. Monstera sent me. Well, hello, Tinkered. Another very talented electrician over here. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, I thought it might be hard to come. Yeah. It's certainly hard. Oh, we can copy it, right? Yes, we can copy a lot of things, especially given that I might have programmed myself some tools. So, for example, if we make a small circuit over here, which will be very much nonsensical, but that's not the point. Can say, okay, copy, so it's actually like this, and then paste. And we have the circuit copied. And this probably makes a lot of you go like, oh, that's how he does it, because, well, setting all of these up manually would be... No, that would be insane. Can you reset it so the rows are deleted? Yes, I can certainly try to do it once more. And if I don't get distracted this time by the music not playing, well, chances are we might get a row. So that fits very snugly over there. Saves a lot of time. Yes, it does. It most certainly does. And especially with games and game boards, it's oftentimes just a kind of glorified shift register where every single cell of the game board is just the very same. So it's very easy to copy it. Howdy everyone. Well, Smeggy, hello. Thanks for checking in. Okay. Can we get a row this time? Hopefully we can. And let's see, I'm at 20 FPS currently, which is... It could be better, but not kidding, coming out of the calculator, it's decent, I would say. Also, given that my computer is running like it doesn't programs, it's quite okay. But even though this is already a lot, I'm not sure if this is actually the original size of Tetris, because I think it's way bigger even than that. And at some point I was like, woo! Splendid. It did thing. And one would think, oh, you know, it's just like one row that got deleted. And, you know, that's kind of simple. You check all the memory cells, and if every single one is on, well, then you do it. But that's not the only part, right? Afterwards, the row is deleted, then all the parts on top of them need to fall down. And they might, again, have another row completed, and so on. So those are things I certainly found out when doing this. And there will probably be more problems in the way that need to be taken care of if we scale it up. I'm surprised you didn't start with live. You probably mean Conway's Game of Life, right? That's... I'm actually not sure if I have this one on my list. But it certainly is a neat idea. And it shouldn't be too complicated. Cool. Yes, very cool indeed. As cool as these kind of things can go, I guess. 10 by 20 is standard. Thanks for telling. Yeah, this is a bit underwhelming then, isn't it? Yeah, but if you think about it, well, 10 times 20 is already 200, and then we have all of these, so around about 20 more. So we would already be looking down 4,000 just for this layer, and then we have more layers underneath, so maybe another 20 to 30, and it just blows up. Well, somebody just subscribed. Thank you, Oscar. Thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome to the party. And as you can see, it doesn't have a fail state. At some point, it just does this. Which, well, could be worse, but it's certainly not ideal. I sure do. For Rust, it's amazing. Well, yeah, I certainly think so. Like, these things, there aren't too many out of them. Like, not a lot of people have tried this. Also just because the tools aren't there. And, you know, I guess John Willikers and me, we try to give the tools to the people slowly, just like testing a few, and then hopefully we can inspire even more people. Maybe people like you watching this very live stream to make even more cool stuff. So cool, good job. You should do the snake game next. Oh, well, hello Callum, thanks for checking in and writing that. That is a very great idea. It's on my list. And Callum, thanks for subscribing. Hello. Yeah, it's on my list, and there are other videos out from, like, say Minecraft or so, where they did Snake, and I had a watch at them, and it's most certainly doable. The game of life will be nice too, yes. It's, I guess, a bit more abstract, and unless you already know about it, you wouldn't be like totally blown away. But I guess if you have maybe in the video start with a historic kind of story about like what the game of life is and how it creates such complex things from so simple ones, yeah, and maybe then you scale it up and you have like, oh, you know, Conway's Game of Life, you can also make logic in Conway's Games of Life, and it's just like logicception. They're like literally people making computers with just Conway's Games of Life simulations. So coming full circle again. I'm happy when my base order sorts and smells all by itself. That's my electrical and industrial knowledge. Well, good on you. Like, not a lot of people have that kind of knowledge, and I think it's very nice to have it. And these things certainly make parts of Rust easier, don't they? Battleship, that is, yes, most certainly also on the list. And especially with the C4, right? Explosive. With like the enabler F and stuff. That, there's certainly a lot of potential. The only thing I haven't figured out is how to set up things that they could be very cool, where you maybe have a pressure pad and you're somehow able to put a vehicle up top. That would be neat. And LEG, well, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the party. So like this game, because of electricity, it's amazing. Yeah, it certainly is. And there are like so many more projects I have planned, but well, there's only so much time, and you need to make them one by one, right? So that's where we are, and I'm kind of excited to have this experience where I'm like not going through it by myself, just like hiding in my deep closet and tinkering around, but you're also part of it. And it's also quite dreadful and frightening, because every time I screw up, everybody will be watching, but I guess that's just part of the fun, isn't it? So Rust in Game of Life inside of Rust. Yeah, one person got it, exactly. Alright, so we have this, and our very first task, in a way, would be to rearrange some of its components. Which ideally would be only this one. But now we need to figure out how to rip it out of there. Guess we'll just delete a bunch of stuff. Alien Invaders game, yes. Space Invaders is certainly up there. The only kind of problem with it, you have so many sprites and you cannot stack them. And stackable neon signs are something, but they aren't ideal. So you have your like alien kind of thingies, and you have your starship and maybe some buildings, and they have a laser and you have a laser. So there's a lot going on, and you can only have so many neon signs, and one neon sign only is able to show one thing. So that's pretty much the problem with Space Invaders. You can maybe change it where you have sprites, so your spaceship quite literally would be pixels, maybe like this, and then the aliens would be also pixels like this, and then you can have a bunch of them, but they don't scale up as well and obviously don't have much detail, because you can imagine if you have 10 of these next to each other, then it's already like 30 pixels wide. You also need one gap, so 40, and it just doesn't scale well. So it would be nice to have obviously the neon signs that I'm preaching about, where you have 5 different inputs, and depending on which input is powered, they show a different image you have set up. Because then you could say, okay, the alien is 1, the laser is 2, the spaceship is 3, and then your laser is 4, and maybe you have a bombastic explosion as well as number 5. But as long as we don't have that, that won't be an option. Let me just put a tool cupboard on here before all the pretty art is gone. I like the C4 idea. You could set each RF to the coordinates and place them on a board. Then the players just type in what square they want and blows up. Yes, exactly. That's, you know, how you would create a bit more oomph to it, right? Because only have lights go up and down, like on and off, if something explodes. That's not exciting, right? No battleships, it's all about the explosion. So yeah, that would be a very neat project for the future as well. And we can try pushing for other, because for that together, because I've wanted, yeah, exactly. There are certain things that would be very neat to have to make things easier, but maybe in the future. And it's not like it's not changing at all. We got the whole voice prompts DLC, which got a whole bunch of new electrical components. Even the weapon racks have lights, so every now and then we get a few more toys to play around with. Yeah, the neon inputs would certainly be... that would be a game changer, quite literally. Alright, we just copy and pasted it over, even though we just want one of those. But well, what are server resources anyways? Yay, now we get to see it all wired up. Yo! It's always quite magnificent to look at it. Oh, it's not done yet. Oh no. Now we can. Okay, so... but we don't need to destroy everything by hand. If we... just make a gap over here, because then I can just auto delete the rest. OMG, your Rusket talking is so funny. Well, thanks, Standby Doom. You know, I just thought, like, I don't want to have a camera on because I'm a bit awkward on camera and I don't want that. So also not having any character moving would be very boring. So I thought, well, just do the PNG tuber thing and have your own character. You know, it's also just makes it a bit more recognizable, doesn't it? So, let's save this one as well if we want to extract the other ones. But for this I can trim it down a bit for sure. Yeah. How much power does all your circuits take? It's a lot, and I stopped counting because, well, I have these generators, and if you see, they put out round about 2 billion power, so that's not my concern anymore. So to say. Yeah, that's a lot of power. 480p max, yeah, people mentioned that before. I don't think I can change it like while I'm live streaming, but tomorrow I'm sure I'll have it figured out. Thanks for telling me. Wait, that isn't his camera. It could be my camera, because in real life I most certainly also have this handsome of a mustache. Next video of mine. Put up a live stream with my game character. It took them ages to figure out it wasn't me. Okay, let's trim it down a bit further. Getting closer. That is handy. Yes, it very much indeed is handy. Okay. Don't know why, but music is playing again, so not gonna ask any questions about it. So and this can go as well. Okay, nice. Now it's just a few more, so copy and call it Tetris components temporary. Okay. Splendid. Just stopping by. But good luck on the Tetris. Can't wait to see it. Well, thank you very much. Yeah. It will be quite a while until it gets there, but I'll keep you posted. Thanks for checking in anyways, and hopefully see you soon. I think that's good. And what we want to do now is have a look at it, decipher what everything is doing, and then making a bit better version for it. Of course, if you think about it, even if we can decrease it by one single component, given that it's a 10 by 20 display at the end, it will still save us 200 components. So that's certainly worth in my book. Okay. Actually, I think let's just do it next to it. All right. So let's contextualize what we have over here. So the way this is set up, it's called a master-slave flip-flop, which sounds very kinky until you get into the nitty-gritty of it, and it's just like a bunch of computer science. But it's all about these two memory cells. Well, like one is the master and the other is kind of the slave. Of course, the slave always follows the master, as a good slave should do. And the way we do it is, say, how can I describe it? Okay, so say this one and this one are on. How can I show this? Let's just get, so if it light is next to it, it's on, shall we say? I can just make it pretty, can I? Why use lights if they don't light up, right? Making the circuit even more convoluted. Okay, so 1 and 2, and 3. Okay, so it's so funny that you have the Gmod tool in Rust. Yes, it is. I guess, you know, they are the same developer, so it makes sense. Same thing with like Chippy, but I really like the tool gun. I use it usually as often as I can. Like even for the roleplay purposes, I always hit this instead of the hammer because, of course, I always was the crazy electrician, not the mad scientist, right? So if we imagine only having the normal memory cell and we want to shift our piece to the left, so like this goes over here and this one goes over here, then we have kind of a problem because say the signal comes down from here and it says, okay, go over here, and then it lights this one up. And same thing for here, but this one is already lit up. But the signal that sends, say, okay, to the left, goes obviously to every single one of those. So in turn, this one just got on, but the signal also is applied to this one. So now it would light up even the next one, kind of bleeding over, if that analogy makes sense. A switch in between. And then floop. That wasn't the one that I... Well, already destroying it. Anyways, so even though we just wanted to shift over this one got shifted over as well, which we don't want. So instead we have two phases. One is just saying, okay, on the next update you're supposed to be on, like shifting this over, and then this one recognizes, okay, I need to be on the next update, and then in the update phase it will go over. That is why we have the two memory cells. So I guess I need more lights. I hope these lights are helping you guys understanding the matter at hand. I obviously can't pull fancy animations in real time. So let's get another row of lights for the other memory cells. Nice. And music already gone again. Okay, so say now we have the left shift, like the signal, everything should go left comes, and now instead of triggering these, the slave ones, we just trigger the lower ones. So this one would go over here, and this one would come over there. And then afterwards we have the update state, where basically we just copy the lower one into the higher bracket. So this one is low, so this one isn't on, this one is on, so it stays on, and this one is on, this one isn't, so it gets turned on. And then we just reset those. So as you can see, now we successfully shifted over those. There are other ways on like doing shift registers, certainly. But if you want to have like a game board that is synchronized, this is a very good solution for it. Gotta go, buddy. It's been awesome seeing this genius live. Well, thank you. Thanks for sticking by DaVinci, and see you soon. So say the very next update comes and it's again left, so we do it once more. The two up here trigger the next ones over here, and we update, and then it's copying from the lower ones over here. And this is kind of what all the colored wires are for. If we take a look, and let's see which one is it. So I think, okay, yeah. So the yellow ones are to the left, and the green ones, no, sorry, the yellow ones are to the right, and the green ones are to the left. So this one would turn on if the signal for right is on, so the yellow, and it goes over here and turns on through these, or just this memory. The same thing what we just did manually. And the green one does this in the other direction, setting this one on. And you can think of this going both ways and then also going down. Yeah, I guess quite a lot of to take in, but that is how these things roughly work. And then we have on top of that just some outputs for different logic applications. So now the task would be to optimize this. So let's get some space. And first component we can get rid of is this one. Because beforehand it's kind of copying it through these AND gates, just whatever output is on here into the set and reset of the second memory cell. So these are the reset, and this is the set. But we can use a very neat trick for it, because the set will always override the reset. So if they are active at the very same time, it will only take in the reset. Sorry, only the set. Already getting confused myself. Well, great start, isn't it? So the blue line is the update line. Let's actually write that down. That's so neat that we have the colors, right? Because otherwise everything would be black and you guys would be asking me, this wire, or is it this wire? And now I can just go the blue one. And you guys know which one I mean. So this one is update. Oh. Update. And then we have the different directions. And do we actually want to keep them? I guess we want to keep them, even though I'm not too happy with them. Because the reason why you don't see any of the new colors was, well, because they weren't a thing back in the day. And I'm very happy that we can use those now as well. Meaning we could change it, which I think will be a good thing. So My color scheme that I usually go by is have green be the set and red be the reset. Or if a game is like has an on and an off status, use those things for that, because I think that just makes the most sense. Blue and yellow are usually some kind of signals. Basically the same with all of these, just that I use the cyan and the orange one also for decrease and increase. So decrement on a counter I would always make orange, and increment like this, because I feel like that's fitting with how they look, as kind of being opposites to each other in the complementary colors. And then pink and purple I also use just for signals, and white usually is my reset. Basically wiping out everything. So now that we have this, how shall we go about it? I think we could use orange for the lower, like down. And then we have two other colors for left and right. I'm thinking of blue and yellow, but blue we should and we need to change it a bit, but that's okay. Because usually for the registers I use something like purple for the update. Now for the transitioning phase, it probably is a bit confusing given that this is a different color scheme, but once we have set it up, I think it will be much better. So that's decrease. And then we'll some yellow and some blue. Left, right. Falling asleep slowly. Have a nice evening. This was fun. Well, thank you for checking in, Monstera. Hopefully you will have a wonderful sleep. And see you soon. Okay, so that's the color scheme we are rolling with. And I guess on top of that we just have green, always be our set. I mean, I can just have it over there. So set and reset. And we need a way to accommodate the signals. So like that's why we use the AND gates. So if this one is on and we get a signal, it should go further. So we need an AND gate for right, left and down. Ooh, interesting. We are actually also not using all of those. Okay. Because the same setup we need for the lower one. This is, remember, the one that gets set by the other components. So this will be able to be set from lower, like going down, going left, and going right. And as we only need 3 connections to... Oh no, I was right about using OR switches. Just got a bit confused. Alright, so... And one of the biggest improvements I want to make is the reset, because this is very convoluted and we can actually just have it reset every update. Which will decrease the component count by quite a lot. And then we have this one, just set to 5. There was 15 people, now there are like only 3. They probably left because you started doing the boring loading. That is okay, right? That's kind of how it is. It's usually not that interesting, and I guess I also just need to figure out maybe a way to make it a bit more interesting, but yeah, for the most part, it's just me staring at a wall, placing down components, and putting wires on top of it. And I would assume certainly for people that are just coming in and seeing this, they would like, oh, I don't get anything of it, because they missed the first half of the explanation, and so, you know, I feel like that's just how it is. But thank you for sticking by anyhow. Okay. So these are the the 3 directions. And then the question is how many more, because I know in the past I added more and more of these components. So one is going down to the light. So actually have it showcase the piece. And then these are for the splitters, and this one is going back over here for the collision detection. Now this one certainly can be removed, and then we would have 3 of branches. So one that, one this, actually 2. So one collision detection, one to light. Okay. Hallo Herr Sicher, hello, hello. Schön, dass du reinschaust. We obviously need the power lines for the memory cells themselves. And then anything else? Hopefully not. So, that's that. Du betreibst doch schon wieder. Oh yes, I certainly... I'm certainly pushing the limit, that's for sure. So we have this, and then the different signals one is going down. It's actually this one. So we have a line for going down, and remember, going down is orange. And then we have one for left and one for right. And let's put them in the order they are supposed to be, because that makes more sense to have the one that goes right also on the right side, doesn't it? Okay, so how many components are those? We are currently looking at 19, which should certainly be less than these, because we are also not having those. That's good. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 components that we are doing less. That's pretty good. Okay, so I guess now we'll just do the very same, but make it a bit more organized. We can take some inspiration from over here. So let's try to align with the wall. Then we start out with this one. Music. Well, speaking of components, do you guys have like any favorite component or like circuit you like to set up? Something you're saying, without this I can't play a wipe anymore. Let's align this one over here. With the one that updates it. And this one should be right around here. Okay, so we have the reset. And the set. Okay. And the other power to the memory cell. We have one node that resets everything, or at least this one. And the OR switches. Where can I snugly fit them in? Probably right here. Okay, and lastly, it's the ones above. So maybe like this. No, that was, we want to add AND switches. Okay. Looks good to me, I'd say. Certainly way more compact, right? I'm very basic with electricity. I leave the wizards to do it best of luck with the rest of your stream. Back to the decorations for me. Well, thank you so much for checking in. I'm sure we'll have a splendid time. Hopefully you do too, with your wonderful decorations. And I'm pretty sure I will see the result of it. Do you mind sharing what you're working on currently? B. Yep. And this one was right. And this one was left. Okay. So now that we have this one, let me think. I want to copy this one over. And hopefully it's only the one that I want. Yes. Good, 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 good. So now that we have one cell figured out, we can do the board. But I think there's one more thing I want to do before. That is... Let me check. Perfect. Of course, there's one thing I haven't shown you so far. Something very special. So this should look an awful lot familiar to you, as it is indeed just the circuit we set up. Well, not the console. Huh. Would you please be so kind to move out of the way, console? This is a bit annoying. Well, there you go. Okay. Because my OCD doesn't allow me to create any further than this unless everything is aligned perfectly. And the only way to align it perfectly, well, is to have the coordinates, right? And the only way to have the coordinates, well, you need to make your own editor. Right? That's the only logical conclusion, isn't it? Okay, got it. Okay, so now that we have this one, we can align these things very perfectly. Yikes. I need to leave sadly because it's close to 1 AM to me and I need to get up early tomorrow. Have a good stream. Well, thank you so much for checking in. And see you soon. Have a good night's sleep. Okay, so these things are perfectly aligned. That's how you make them perfectly. Yes, that is how I do it. Indeed. Because otherwise, well, they certainly won't look that pretty. This is a project, as I said, it's very long ago, and they aren't perfectly aligned, right? You see that? And there's one button that I like very much. You see how these things, they look okay, but a person would say they aren't perfectly aligned. So what if I told you I have a button that just says straighten wires, and well, it doesn't straighten. Well, it does, only from the right camera perspective. Let's zoom in. And now they should be perfectly perpendicular. Emphasis on should. Let's see. There you go. Now they are perfectly perpendicular, like to a fraction of, not even a fraction, they have the same coordinates. Makes me so happy to see this every time. What program is this? This is in Unity itself. So Unity is a game engine that also Rust itself was developed in, but I could have done this in any other game engine if I wanted to. It doesn't depend that Rust is in the same one. More like a coincidence. And I built an editor in it, so it's in the engine itself. It's like not a program, so to say. I could make an executable of this, but it wouldn't have these features because that's just the built-in editor inside of Unity that allows me to do these things. So those are aligned. And well, it certainly is an awful lot of work to make this perfectly aligned. Conrad, thank you for subscribing. That is, welcome to the party. And hello, Naked. Thanks for coming by. This program is Unity, but it's just the editor of Unity, like not a program itself. And with the Unity editor, I made my editor kind of on top. So let's have them over here. This one actually needs to be aligned both with this one and the other one up here. So let's do it like this. Move this one a bit over. And like interesting things happen because it's something they are, I think, changing currently. That the pivots, for example, for the OR switches and the AND switches are actually back way down here. And Icy Raccoon, thank you for subscribing. That's, just something you probably wouldn't care about, but the more you know, I guess. Okay, so that's over here. But trust me when I say at the end it will look so good. There's just like a different kind of polish to it going through this. Okay, now we have those. think they can go up a bit more. So then we may put this one up here. And those can go here. Something like this looks good to me. Nope. Okay. Nice. And then we can just say, okay, write it into the file. And then if I go back, I can paste it in, and as we can see, it's so perfect. Always great. All right. Okay. Next up, we would like to duplicate it into different directions. So we would basically take this one and copy it over a bunch of times, right? But the great thing actually is I can do that over here as well. Well, I forgot. Let's copy this one. And then read from it once again, build it, and now we have the other walls. That's pretty nice. Yikes. Okay. That's where I wanted to have it. So let's take all of these components. As soon as my mouse lets me. And give them a parent node. Let's call it, it's from the active display, so it's active display memory cell. Building editor. Let's organize the walls. So we have those in here. And then we put all of these in here. Now, because I parented them to an object, I can just have the parent object be copied and then move over. And as you can imagine, this makes things 10 times as easy. Though you have to put in a lot of work up front to get here. So actually let's connect these two first. So we said yellow is coming from here and then going right. So something along these lines. And the opposite is happening for blue as well. Why doesn't it let me choose this one? That's a bit weird. Something seems wrong with this one. Can't click it. Well, that's a bit. Hello, I love your videos. I want to get into electricity but can't afford the game. What circuits? What circuits are you making currently? Oh, first of all, hello Fearless. Thanks for looking in and coming by. I'm currently working, as the title suggests, on a Tetris game. This is the old setup that I had, but I developed it a bit further, but then lost the file, or like the building, which is a bit unfortunate, but now I'm remaking it and making it even more efficient because it wasn't with the components. So we did a lot of like explaining up front, and now I'm actually getting into the nitty-gritty of things and currently try to set up our memory system for the pieces that are falling down and how they can move left, right, and down. Yeah. That's pretty much what I'm currently trying to do. Emphasis once again on trying, because this one apparently doesn't let me connect it. Okay, this one is better. So and then we have these two memory blocks, and the yellow and blue lines are actually the signals that will come over, signalizing, okay, now we want to move the piece either to the left or to the right. And let's redo this. Okay, let's straighten them. And I guess let's move this one a bit lower. Also, I mean, if you want to just get into electricity, there's also the online editor, right? For the circuits. And if you just want to play around with the different circuits other people made and the logic behind it, I think that's a very good way to do it. Okay, and then we want to connect these. And let's think, it shouldn't matter what direction we actually do them in. So this one from there to there, and from here to here. Oh cool, I haven't checked it. I'll have to check it out. Oh yes, it is Very nice indeed. It's like for everybody who doesn't know it. It's like this thing. And it's similar to what you just saw on screen, where you can just place the different components and then connect them. And you can also see all the circuits other people made. So that's pretty neat. Okay, straighten them again, and this should hopefully be fine. Then we do the same and copy them down and do the other directions. Oh no. Something was a bit messed up. Okay. Like this. And then we also have the other direction of coming down, which means we'll connect the red ones. So when this one is activated, it will come all the way down here and activate the memory cell below. Same thing for over here. And then connect this one to here. What else? We need to have these. No. Which will be our reset. And this one seems to be broken again. Quite weird behavior, isn't it? Okay. There you go. So that's the reset ones, and then we also need the blue ones for the update, but we said they aren't actually blue, they are supposed to be purple. So let's change the colors. I think that's something we messed up at some point. Oops, please don't delete this one. Oh, wait a minute. We forgot a branch. How dare I? Yeah, this one was missing. Okay, so we need to insert it over there, but I need to do them one by one. Well, could be worse. Something along these lines looks good. copy, paste, and align it. Same thing with this one. And then soon, hopefully, we have 4 lights that we can control. And wire them up. Okay, so, and let's double check the branch amount, because they need to have a branch amount of 5 instead of the usual 2. So select all of them and set them to 5. As easy as that. Are we still missing something? I'm not too sure, actually. Let's give it a go. So we have written it. So let's see. It's a bit stuck in the wall, isn't it? Yeah, it's because the walls don't perfectly align with the circuits. That's a bit of a bummer. So let's do the same thing once again, parent all of them, and then we can just move them over circuits. Or actually I should call them active display memory. Okay, there you go. And now that we have a parent, we can pivot them a bit around. So let's rotate them a bit. I mean, this looks certainly better. Okay, let's write it and paste it. Looks way better, doesn't it? Okay, we need some power. So now our memory cells are powered indeed. And we can set up some lights. So this would be the 4. And this one lastly. And now it's just the signals that we need to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 4 that we have. We have to the left, which will be the blue one. We have to the right, the yellow one. We have down, orange, and null. like a reset, I should rather say. And obviously we have also the update one. Okay. So let's put them together. 1 and a 2 and a 3. So this is no blue is what we want. And then I guess yellow, even though that's not pretty to have it over here. And what's over here floating around? Weird. And yellow. Then we have the orange one. So, oh yeah, they are down here for lowering it. So, next the reset. Over here. And lastly, the update node, which I actually have not connected in the game. Okay. But it at least should be set to 5. Yes, wonderful. Okay. So that's the last one. Let's give them all enough power. And then we shall see how many bugs we made along the way. So they are now powered, and one last thing would be to manually just set one. This would be the random generation, ideally. So, oh, they also don't have enough power. That is true. How much are they originally? Just plain 70, so we should be safe if we just set them to 70 as well. So those to 70, and this one actually doesn't need more. Okay, so let's go back over here and change that as well. And we also wanted to have the update line actually connected. So let's get the update line and update. So those are those two changes. And then they need way more power than this. Okay, so now we have this one lit up. And if we press yellow, we see the one on the right the master memory cell is toggled. So now if we actually push the update, it has moved one over. And hopefully we can do the very same with the other directions as well. Let's check this one. Oh, I forgot. And in between each, like after each update, we need to wipe the board once with the reset timer. So let's have those a bit increased. So the sequence would be the signal for the left line, then we do an update. It gets updated and then we have it here. I guess we should move the display a bit over, otherwise it's not that fun, is it? So let's have them over here. Unfortunately, it's a bit messy this way, but it will get the point across, I'm sure. So, and then we need some control logic that hopefully automates everything. Of course, we don't want to press every single one individually. So it's like this. And then for right, then, oh, this one is not set low enough. Okay, so update and then perfect. So on top of this, we'll add some control logic, because after every single update, we want to wipe the existing ones. So after this timer was activated, the one next to it should be activated. Actually, let's do this with... Do we want to have the blockers or the X, or... I mean, doesn't matter as long as we don't have the other inputs, but just for the future. Let's just do it like this for now. Okay. And then over here. And this one will actually get activated by all of these three, because if they move down, if they move right, or if they move left, we want to push an update each time. So set it to 5. And then have these lines come over. Oops. That wasn't what I wanted. And for this one as well. Connect these. Unfortunately, currently there's a bug in Rust that the wire color is not selected. when you do the new thing where you just tap it. If you tap it and then reconnect it, the wire color will reset just to be black. Hopefully they will fix that. That would be splendid. Okay. Orange and blue. Okay. Big question now, is it working? Okay, we have this one. We press right. It does this and looks good to me. Let's make it all a bit faster. Set it to the lowest amount possible. And now we can have this. Wonderful. Certainly doesn't seem like much, but we obviously want to scale it up. And the good thing is about it, just the way we set it up, it can do everything simultaneously. So it doesn't matter if it's like one light, two lights, or even more. That damn lamp. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for checking in. You have a rust mold this cycle. You want to know something funny? The person that inspired me to set up this character was actually you. Because I was thinking, okay, I want to have something on screen, right? I cannot just have my game. And I feel too awkward on camera, so that's not an option. And then I saw your character and was like, ooh, that would be neat. Because you must know, the lamb also streams, and she does so very well. And she has a very neat little chibi character. And I thought, well, that's a neat little chibi character. I should maybe get one myself. But then, well, commissioning an artist is expensive, and drawing myself, well, that won't look good. So I thought, what other options can I have? And well, for the last video, I made obviously green screen recordings of my characters. So maybe I could just use them as a PNG. You can't do this, lol, it's impossible. Who are you to tell me what's impossible and what not? No, but I do get it. It's a lot. Certainly. Anyways, hello Copper also. No way, yeah, no, it's actually my thought process behind it. And I think this works fine. Or at least good enough for now. Probably need to set up some neat things. But don't know. Would be probably cool to have my green screen recording of me dancing or so. And have this one also on stream, but that's something for the future. What is Lamb doing here? Well, I was thinking the same. You did such a great job. Well, thank you very much. Okay, we have this set up. And I guess now we just want to scale up as well. Without destroying too much of it, right? We want to keep the control logic that we have. So that will actually be pretty neat if we have it somewhere over here. Supporting the homie. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Okay, so back to the editor. Let's scale it up once again. Which will be super easy. Well, that is unless things aren't aligned. Let's get them aligned with the coordinates, shall we? Well, looks about as straight as myself, I guess. And actually lose local coordinates so they don't get messed up. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now it's rinse and repeat. Connect the same things again and again and again. Hopefully without going insane. But that's what you are for, right? Okay, so this one over here. Same thing. Nope. And then the line to the left. I need to decrease that radius. But that's something I haven't exposed. Probably something I should do. Can't grab it. So. Like this, put them back. And over here next. Alright, those are those two. Then we have the red ones are fine. And these, the signals, our update signal and the reset signal. It's this one, right? This is getting quite annoying, isn't it? Maybe I'll have a talk with my code. Shall I? Of course, this distance is not working. Oh, well, in the meantime, I hope everybody of you has a wonderful day so far. How was your last wipe going? Because it's almost like closing, right? So I hope everybody had a great month in Rust so far. Building editor. And now the search begins. Alone brother. Well, hello and welcome to the gang. Thanks for subscribing. Let's see. Has been a good time since I looked into it. Maybe I can just look for distance. Yeah, I usually have it just as dist. Fast focus. Wiring. That looks better. Focus wire. Guess I think it's this one. Let's just set it to 2 and recompile. And hopefully now the points aren't as obnoxious as before. Sometimes to solve problems you have to make yourself some problems. Okay, so now it's updated. Oh yeah, no, it's better. Now I can select this one, and this one isn't selected for this one. So that's good, but it's still a bit picky. So let's change it to something else, because I don't really care about this value in the moment. Can be way smaller. And recompile once again. There you go. Now I can grab it easily. So easily. We don't want to have it in black, but in white. Okay. And let's do it over here as well. White. Let's make them pretty. And that's those lines, that's this. Hopefully that's all for those. And then let's scale it up in the other direction. That didn't work too well. Some wires seem to be in the wrong direction. Well, yay. Exposing my coding mistakes on stream. Hey, yoo-hoo. Isn't that fun? Why not just use the nearest distance check between all valids? It is pretty much like this. Yeah, no, okay, yeah, I get it. The points from the wires are just overriding or like have higher priority, I guess. That is indeed a good point. So they are a bit messed up. Wait, what did that? Oh no, I just deleted something. No, I just recolored it actually. Oh, yeah. Well, isn't this exciting? Almost as exciting as a day-to-day job. Oh, you're adjusting the wire to... the thing that I was adjusting was the distance, because there's just a distance threshold by how far the mouse needs to be close to it. And for the wire points, it's the same distance plus a multiplier, because at some point it was very tedious to have them, because they weren't always at the wall, but like sticking away from it. So they were like very hard to click. So I manually increased that value. And now I just decreased it to make it easier to actually hit the connection points instead of the wire ones. Okay, so we need more wall. We shall build a wall and it will be magnificent. Alone brother. don't tell me that now I cannot pick the wires. Yeah, no, I was... Okay. Did I clean up everything down here? Looks something like it. And then the power lines. Oh no. But why do they break? That's not good. Is it? Wait, what? Huh. Interesting. Okay, there seems to be a visual bug. Which is less of a problem than an actual one, but still not good. Okay. So let's get those. And this one. Oh. Is that all? Jerome, hello, thanks for subscribing. Hope you had a wonderful day. Okay, let's write it and let's see how much we did wrong. Put it in here. Man, it really starts to slow down with all the programs running. Because usually that pasting this in takes about a second or so. Looks good, I guess. So now we want to keep the control logic and just update this part of it. Yeah, okay. I should have put it all down over there, but that's okay. So let's make it a bit bigger to accommodate it. And copy it over. So we want this corner to be on here. Good. Because now if we like change the size once again, we can keep these walls and the ones below for just the controls. Probably something I should have done with the previous one as well, but so we have the red ones. Which is this line. Oh no, pardon me, it's actually set it to orange, didn't I? Already getting confused myself with the colors. That's not a good sign, is it? And lastly, this one. And then hook this one up over here. That is those done. Then we just need the normal ones for power supply. Here, let's actually offset them ever so slightly, and they need to be on this wall. So noble power, just in black. Over there. Oops, I missed one actually. That's too bad. Good, and then this one needs to power this one. Okay. Now everything is powered away. Oh, that's good. And it's not only powered, it's powered by around about 300 million power, which I think for the time being shall be enough. There I say. So this one is to the left. Okay, Papa. Same thing with for the right. And then down below we have update. And reset. Okay, they need to be on the wall. The 7th C, I love you. Well, thank you very much for the kind words. Hope you have a wonderful day. And even if not, well, let me berate you with some logic and make it better or something. Yeah, but thank you. I appreciate it a lot. Update. And those shall go down over here. Was there any favorite video of yours? Of yours, yeah, of mine so far? And then over here. I did an oopsie once again. Connected it wrong. That's okay. reset over here, update. And then there are only two, actually one only missing. If I connect, oh, it's already connected. My short-term memory is just lacking. Oh well. So yellow. And it was all yellow. This should be the last one, hopefully, for the signals. Then we shall just set up a temporary display. And hopefully we will have a 4x4 display going. Let's get rid of those and create a new one. Oh, yeah. Now I noticed those should be set to something higher than just 2. Always good to figure these kind of things out early. Because otherwise the error will just increase exponentially. Okay. And a 1. Oh, I actually got the pass through, not the input. Okay, second row. The third one. This is getting quite messy, isn't it? But we can always clean it up later. So... bit further here, and the last row. And then hopefully it will all be working. But that's what I tell myself every time. And then I find out. Okay. Nice, that's the display part. So we shall now toggle this one over and it should light up. That's good. If we now want to press down and it didn't do anything. Well, it's not so splendid. Maybe it's just because the power. So let's give it enough power. How about a casual 1000 power? Oh, there you go. Okay, down. Okay, so the first one worked. This one did not. Well, that's obviously because this one isn't connected. Quite the obvious mistake, isn't it? Okay, so if we fix this one, I need to figure out how to separate these wires. Otherwise it will just be very ugly. Okay, so now we have this and that. But it's not doing the resetting part. So this one is connected here, is connected there, it's connected over here. And oh yeah, it just didn't have enough power. Okay, so let's wipe it all. Connect the missing ones. I'll just do them quickly because I will do them pretty over here. So the lines we missed were these here. Over there. Over there. Number 3. And number 4. Let's straighten them, and that should be good. And the other part that I wanted to change is to increase the branch amount of these branches. Only question is to what shall I set them? And I will look that up on the other version. So this one had 10. All right. Then I shall put them to 10. There you are. No, unfortunately not Czechian. But thank you very much for being here anyways. That's that check. Haha, that check. Oh, I guess I just got your pun. I stumbled into that. Is it going to blow up? Please tell me. Well, I mean, unless I use some explosives. Well, I don't know. Might be blowing up somebody's head if I try to explain it to them, but sounds like a them problem to me. So, to the right. To the... Okay. next problem we found. Oh boy, did I really forget those? Ah, bummer. Because now we not only... Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. Yeah, I'll just do them messy. And over here. And then the other way around. With... No, it's from here over there. And then we... Yeah. Okay. So, next trial. This one is there. We press right, it goes right. We press right once again, it goes right again. And then we can press it once more and, well, it's going out because we don't have a collision check for the sides, but that is a-okay for the moment. Then we have down, down, and down. Nice. And lastly, we have left. So left, left, and left. That's pretty neat. So let's wipe it. And let's double check if every single connection is indeed working by just sabotaging this one. So, to the right, to the right, and to the right. Yep. Okay, everything, single connection is working. Good, good, good. Okay, so let's introduce the change that we made over here as well. Which will be a bit tedious, but that's the name of the game, isn't it? Here, there, and there. That's the wrong one. It's this one. And then the one to the left as well. All right. And straighten them. And hopefully this should be logically one-to-one what we have in game. So far my hope, at least. Yeah, but I think this is probably where we leave it off for now. Oh, creativity, what is happening? A lot of things are happening. For example, me closing my stream, but like ending it. But for the most part, I'm working on Tetris for my next project. And I already made Tetris once, but then I lost the building because I didn't save it before the wipe. And this is the last save that I have of it. And it's working. It has the most essential parts working, but I did a lot more after this, so that's kind of lost. And before I, like, much rather than fixing this, I rework it, because now that I have better knowledge of all the electricity, I can make it way more efficient. So now I just started with making the display for the moving part that can move right, down and left. That's pretty much all we did today. Sweet! Still big W. Thank you. Yeah, no. Quite a lot of progress, I think, especially given that at the start I explained a lot. And I'll probably start explaining at the beginning of every stream just a bit, because otherwise it will be so hard for people to follow along. Yeah, but I think for tomorrow what we'll do is just continue this, and instead of scaling it up, do the other functions. So say we just press a button and there's like it spawns, and then it automatically falls down. We don't need to press this, and at the right interval we can press right or left, and once it hits the ground the next one will spawn. Just to have it in a very small version, because then we can evaluate where problems are and where not, and it will be much easier to fix the errors now before we scale it up, right? I'm curious, how old are you? I'm somewhere in my 20s. What's the other program you are using? That is Unity, so like the game engine, and inside the game engine I edited the editor to have Rust components, so that I just may load in buildings and have the, just have circuits in here that I can easily make and adjust. And then the button that I love is just this one, because it will automatically straighten wires in a given threshold, so now they are perfectly perpendicular and my OCD is satisfied. Yeah, and this plus some other plugins that I'm using are basically the things that enable me to do these crazy kind of things, because doing them manually and by hand would be downright crazy. Yeah, that's the other program that I'm using. All right, any finishing questions from your side? Great stream. Hope you have a great night. I hope you have a splendid night as well, and so as much as everybody else who was watching. Alright, I think that was was a good start. I will certainly try to iron out the problems that were still there with the music and the quality of the video. And hopefully tomorrow things will look a bit brighter. And I think on that note, I will say thanks for watching the stream and have a splendid night.